Kaya elders, as you all know, are not just protectors of the traditional forests of Kilifi County. They are empowered by the communities, by the society, to be the caretakers of not just the forest, but of the environment, of the ecosystem, of our cultural values. They have a huge influence in passing the message to the next generation about ecosystems, about conservation. And I am hoping that by asking our Kaya elders to bless this little baby rhino Kilifi, we are setting a new pace in this country to take ownership of wildlife conservation within our communities, within our elders, so that our future generations, our children, understand that when they see a rhino, they see a school. When they see a giraffe, they see a university. We hope the blessing today of the baby rhino, which we have christened Kilifi, will go a long way in protecting the rhinos, give them the habitat to breed and to grow their numbers in this country.
Rhino are under huge pressure globally by virtue of the huge increase in demand for rhino horn, the massive increase in value and price of rhino horn. Figures of 20,000 rhino 30 years ago decreasing to 200 rhino in this country alone. People talk of the fact that actually historically in Kenya there were probably more rhino in Kenya, black rhino in Kenya, than there were elephant today. There are two key challenges to rhino in this country, and I sense globally. One is the poaching, and two is the lack of available habitat. We on Lewa here have too many rhino for the habitat that we have. They've bred so effectively, we've managed them so effectively that we now have too many. And if we continue to hold those animals, the efficiency of their breeding will decrease, and the growth of that population will decrease. So you're either losing rhino from poaching, or you're losing rhino because they're not being born. I mean, it is our fervent hope that within the next 18 months to 2 years, we'll be moving rhino from Lewa into a community conservancy in northern Kenya, a Samburu conservancy. The fence is almost complete. We're still raising funds to enable us to put in the infrastructure there and to train the people to be able to protect those animals and manage those animals. And that would be a huge step forward, to have a community owning those animals and managing those animals. From Lewa's perspective, it's always been pretty clear to us that Kenyans across the country need to recognise the value of wildlife and the value of conservation, and it's something that Lewa has been working very hard to achieve and to demonstrate that value to Kenyans over the last 20 years. And I think we've succeeded in North Kenya, and having a partner like ARM come in with Pradeep to support the work we're doing reinforces the message, not only at a local community level but at a corporate level, that corporates recognise that they can bring additional value to this process. They can leverage funding and support to this process, and it draws the full circle. It develops that full circle. We've got communities, we've got conservation organisations, and now we've got corporates, Kenyan corporates, involved in a Kenyan solution to a Kenyan problem.